and do all the doctors and everything.
All right, 1 minute.
Oh, are you doing it?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
You're being purchased.
What?
You're being purchased.
Okay.
Everyone
too.
has breakfast.
Pick on me too.
Yeah.
Pick on me.
No. Really.
Let's see what's on here.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
Silver.
Yeah, team Monica.
Jake's here. All right. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Today we are going to talk about follow-up. So the gold is in the follow-up, as they say. Can everyone hear me? Thumbs up. Cool. All right, let me minimize this real quick. All right, can someone tell me why is it important to follow up? Brad.
I think it's important because you get to set the tone for your client, and it's follow up is the game, and that's what the ISAs do well. I think over here is that we get to it's service, I guess, right? Customer service.
Correct.
Right. Go on.
I'd say mind and plans change.
Can you say that one more time? It was hard to hear you.
Mind and plans change.
Yes, plans do change.
I've got one,
Go ahead.
because other people don't.
And that's absolutely right. And I'm guilty. I'll tell you my story at the end. Shelby, when do we do follow up? When do we follow up? Because there's different ways we could follow up.
You can follow up immediately.
Immediately, so this is what we would call like pre-sale. When else, during what time of the sale do we also follow up? So
Like
we got
within-
pre-sale.
Like in
Escrow, and that's good. That lets them know that you're present, that you're still thinking of them, that you just didn't go in for the sale and then just forget them. And then one other thing that a lot of people don't do is post-sale follow-up. And we'll go into that a little deeper.
891.
So fresh online lead follow-up. So Brad, the ISA, so I'm gonna pick on Laura.
Wow.
All right.
Can you go ahead and read that, Laura?
Yes, fresh online lead follow-up. When? Instantly. How? Use whichever method your lead used to initiate contact with you. If he or she texted you about a listing, be sure to text them back as soon as possible. If they sent you an email, answer their questions and seize the opportunity to include additional info or listings you think will be relevant to them. If you don't hear back right away, try reaching out again after 48 hours.
Now, is 48 hours too long? That's kind of what I feel like, if you were to follow up instantly and they don't respond back. I mean, I got this from the internet. They say 48 hours, but what do you guys typically do if they don't respond back right after an online inquiry?
It depends on the situation. So I think it's good. You're providing some value up front and then follow up with a question or a call to action. I think in general, 24 to 48 hours is fine. If it's a fresh lead, 24 hours is what I would say. And then you can try to follow up with them in different ways. So if you tried email the first time, then a phone call followed by a text message the second time.
Okay. And then how often do they respond back? Do they always respond back after?
On a fresh lead,
Yeah.
it matters where they come from. And so I think of us practicing the same things over and over, not judging the lead, is what makes us different.
Good.
So being consistent in our ways. So call, text, email, I mean, and drips. Eventually, sometimes they respond like the 20th time, and sometimes the third time. But the consistency is what makes them reach out to us.
So like after you guys contact them and they don't respond back, you guys automatically put them on a drip?
Automatically.
Okay.
Every time.
Okay, and then is it one that you guys made,
No, it's
created,
just
or is that one that was already created in Boomtown?
Both. It's one of the ones that we created custom and they're already in Boomtown.
Okay, cool. And then next, Shelby.
Open house follow-up the next day. How send a thank you, text, and request feedback. Use their feedback as a segue to dig deep into what they're looking for exactly and why.
So this is very helpful. Like today, yesterday I had a really good open house. I mean, I had about 6 or 7. That's not too many people, but why I considered it to be a good open house was the conversations that I had and the connections that I've made. One thing I do when I host an open house is, first thing is I invite them to sign in on the sign-in sheet, and then have them take a look. Before they leave, I like to get their feedback, and if they don't have any, if they're in a rush or whatnot, I tend to ask them, is it okay if I follow up with feedback? It's always great to ask for permission to follow up. Typically they're gonna say, yeah, that's fine. So that kind of opens up the doors to, yes, we can have a discussion about real estate. Does anyone have any other input about their open house follow-up? David?
I will call, especially if it's somebody I was going to keep. I would call also.
Okay, yeah, that definitely. Is that same day or next day?
It's going to be the next day. Well, and I'll have to call until I catch them, but yeah, it would be the next day.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah, I've seen really good response rates on open house leads when I call them the next day. So if the agents are sending the forms that day or that evening, then VA team, whenever possible, if you guys can get those imported the next day, our contact rates or our response rates that I have seen are way higher than when I get the leads on a Tuesday. So if we get them on that Monday, they are very quick to respond.
Good.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't want to spend too much time on open house, but I mean, I like the topic on open house. I kind of was back and forth about follow-up and open house. Jake, can you share with us your input with open house, how you set up expectations at open house for the follow-up?
Honestly, this is an area of improvement for me, 100%. So with open houses, the biggest thing that I do, what I've been trying to do, is just getting them to have my app. I literally just try to give them my app, and I want them to play with it. So that's really my main focus that I've been doing lately. My last open house I sat, literally everybody had a realtor, and I didn't ask the follow-up realtor question. What has your realtor done for you? And I just kind of stopped there. So for me, 100%, open houses are an area of improvement for me.
Laura, did you
Oh.
have a question?
Okay, real quick. For you agents, when they say that they have a realtor, ask them, how did you choose your realtor?
That is a good one.
I think it's such good insight into like the quote unquote psyche of the buyer and what is driving them to the realtor that they choose. So try and follow up with that question if possible.
How did you choose your realtor? That's a really good one. I'm gonna have to use that one. Thanks, Laura.
My pleasure. All right.
Hey guys, it's JT.
Oh, JT. Nice.
I was going to say that most of the time they'll come in and say they've got a realtor. If you ask them if they know their name, I'd say about 75 to 80% of the time they don't even know. So you got to dig deep because they're not telling you the truth.
Yeah. That's a good one because I don't ask their name. I typically ask, what brokerage? And then I caught one. They're like, that's a good question. I don't really know.
I think that's hilarious. Just ask them, play dumb. So, oh, awesome, we work with so many agents on the island. Oh, who'd you pick? Who's your realtor? And they're like, I don't know. And then you go, wait, you don't know your realtor's name? Like, you kind of just are like, wait, you don't know your realtor's name? And then you just be quiet and look at them. And they're like, when you need to be in this house, I just, we kind of like joke and poke at them. And I don't know. I agree with JT.
No, that's a
Sometimes
good one, JT.
people think because they've emailed with a realtor who has them set up on a search online, that means that they have an agent. And it doesn't.
For sure. And I realize, especially during open house, a lot of them, they say, oh, someone sends me stuff. And I think typically it's probably like Zillow leads.
Mm-hmm.
They're not really doing what we're doing. They're probably just emailing them more listings.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, definitely that's a good one. I always ask, how are you working with your realtor? JT, thanks for speaking up because I was going to pick on you anyways.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime.
Can you please read this slide? Yes? Maybe?
He could just ghosted you.
Did he?
Like Jasmine.
I'm sorry, did you ask me to read it?
Yes, please.
Okay, hold on.
Oh, sorry, are you driving? I didn't see if you're...
No, I'm sitting in my living room. I'm good.
Okay.
Listing buyer presentation. Oh, my dog's. Hey. Next day, if you didn't close the listing or get the bra sign, touch base with the home sellers the next day to thank them for their time and ask if they had any questions about your presentation. Be prepared to itinerate key bullet points that set you apart from other agents and brokerages. If you did close on the listing or got the bra sign, send an email or thank you card to express your appreciation and your confidence in the successful relationship ahead.
So I got this from online, and I thought it was good because I had a couple that I didn't get signed, and I didn't know how to approach that. But just reading this, and there's more to it. I had to cut it out because it's pretty long. And it talks about if you didn't get the bra signed or the listing, follow up and reiterate your PowerPoint from your presentation. They might be up against the fence with another agent, but I mean, just throwing out what sets you apart from those other agents or those other brokerages. I mean, that's what's going to make the difference if they didn't sign with you right away, because you never know, they might be doing that to other agents as well that they're interviewing. Would you guys agree? Cool.
I agree. I think the thank you cards are really working that Laura's been sending out.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, and home showing follow-up. I'm going to pick on David on this one.
You want me to read it, Art? Is that it?
Yes, please.
Okay. Home showing follow-up. When the next day, if you didn't already schedule a meeting after your showing to evaluate your progress, follow up with your buyers the next day when they've had time to sleep on it.
And typically, David, like, how do you do this the next day, or how do you follow up after a showing?
Well, I'm asking them right then, would you like to put a reservation down on this? Trying to get a decision or an answer then.
And if they
home or at the last home or something like that. But yeah, otherwise people might ask for a day and then give them a day.
Got it. And I'm trying to get better at, I only have really one client that I did multiple showings for. And unfortunately, I wouldn't say I lost him. He said that he had a special mission because he's in the military and he wasn't planning to buy for another year. But what I realized, you know, especially after you're doing a whole day's worth of showings, 3 or 4, to reevaluate if they didn't see what they wanted, what they didn't want to put in an offer for any of the showings that you show them, knowing that they're the ones who picked out those homes, then yeah, take them back, reevaluate the situation, and follow up with, you know, what how to dial down to the criteria to what they're looking for. So closing follow-up, Andrea.
When the day or week of closing, although this transaction is now over, you seize this opportunity to secure the new homeowners as your clients for life, with the hope of being referred to their family and friends as well. The method you choose to follow up or celebrate a closing can depend on the nature of your relationship. Closing gifts in the form of kitchenware, gift cards, decoration, or a bottle of wine. Even small things like a handwritten thank you card will make an impact.
So I don't have experience with the closing follow-up just yet, but I know, Andrea, you're doing really well. What do you usually do as a closing follow-up?
So in addition to, of course, the gifts, I like to give some kind of gift card in a handwritten thank you card to go along with the Team Lally swag and the home sign. And then I'll usually follow up with them a day or 2 after and just say, hey, how's the move-in going? Or did you get everything moved in yet? Things like that, just to kind of, and then usually just discussion over the next, day or 2, just to show that you still care.
Good. And I think that's like one of the very important parts with the follow-up is honestly at the end, because that's going to be the driving factor of your business.
If they're on Facebook and you are friends with them, like I have 2 clients now that have immediately started renovations. So like comment on the renovation,
Oh, that's awesome.
Like, oh, that looks so different, or that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's one thing I thought about too, as far as, around closing is, befriend your clients on social media if they have social media. And that's a great way to stay connected. Actually, and that leads us, we'll talk about that in a little bit, but we're running short on time. But yeah, no, that's absolutely awesome, because what I do is on the daily, I hop on Facebook real quick and I see whose birthday it is, and I say happy birthday to everyone that's on that day. And that's like the way how I try to stay connected with, my SOIs or just anyone in general. That's my social media friend. But I mean, that's absolutely a great idea to stay connected through social media. Well, we're all out of time. So I think I'll just end it short with this last one. Post-sale follow-up, special days and 1 year after closing. How remind your past clients that you're still in real estate and appreciate their business by sending a text or a handwritten card on their anniversary or their special day, birthday or holiday. This is an easy way to increase your odds of getting repeated business. And like he said, like this is a great way to do that through social media. To add a special touch to it, a little bit more personable, send them a text or give them a call on those special days. And if you don't feel comfortable, then shoot it through social media. So, all right, guys, any ahas? I'll take one since it's 9:03. Anyone?
How did you find your realtor?
Yeah, that's a good one. Thanks. All right, guys. You guys have a great Monday and kill it this week.
Bye, y'all.
Fantastic job, Art.
Thanks,
Thanks, Art.
Thanks, Art. Thank you.
Art. Thanks, Art. Thank you, Art. Say hello. You gotta hit stop share. See the red stop share? Yep. Then you can go to the bottom.
part of it.